Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Frankie Villanueva. Welcome to Business Hour. This episode of Business Hour is a joint production of the Metro Angeles Chamber of Commerce and the Metro Clark Network. The program is meant to provide its viewers with insights in managing business and highlight some of the best practices in the field. In today's episode, we will talk about one of the growth engines for the Metro Clark area. Specifically, we will talk about the tourism industry. As evidenced by its tourist arrival that started with 49,000 in 2004 for the Clark International Airport to 1.4 million by 2012, and the increase in rooms within the Clark area from 1,000 to 2,000 rooms with another 1,000 or more expected in the next 5 years. Now, to talk about this exciting industry is our special in-studio guest, Mr. Alfred Reyes, the General Manager of Widus Resort and Casino. Good day, Mr. Alfred Reyes.
Good evening.
Okay, so let's start off. Maybe, Mr. Alfred Reyes, you could tell us more about yourself, your background.
I've been in the hotel industry for almost 27 years.
27 years, so since you were 6 years old.
But I was 21.
21.
I was already with the hotel industry. I started in Cebu.
Cebu, okay.
Then moved to Manila in 91. Then moved back to Cebu in 99. Then went out of the country, worked with Taiwan and in Indonesia. Then moved back in Manila in 2003. This was during SARS.
SARS, okay.
Then I stayed in Manila. Then moved to Clark last year.
Last year. We'll talk about that later and how you got to Clark. But before we talk about your company, let's talk about the industry. Tell us, how do you define your industry?
The hospitality industry, it's divided into three components. It's either you'll be in accommodation, you will be in the entertainment, or you will be in the food and beverage. And for Widus alone, we basically comprise with the three.
Okay.
If you would like to be a destination, you need to have the three components.
Okay, okay. So how big is this industry?
This industry in other countries, it's like Thailand is number one. In the Philippines, it's not considered as number one, but it's one of the major earnings right now for the government. There are a lot of people that are being outsourced. As far as OFW is concerned, like Dubai, even China right now. You go to Singapore, mostly are Filipinos. Okay. So that's one of our challenges right now in the industry. We're running out of good talents.
Okay.
That's how big the industry.
Yes, and if you take a look at the local tourism industry, this has been really, the potentials have not been tapped right.
Right.
Because we're doing about how many million tourists per annum?
Currently, we're doing more than 3 million already.
3 million.
It will increase further in the next couple of years, especially now that you have Tiger Airways, all these the low-cost carrier that are coming in. They've expanded to not just, and it's really growing. You can see small hotels that are coming up, not just only in Metro Manila, but even as far as down south like Mindanao.
Okay. So you're saying that the open skies that has been coming in, more flights, has brought in a lot more tourists.
That's right.
Okay, let's talk about the tourism industry in the Metro Clark area. What are the prospects?
As of now, the tourists in Clark is focused more on the Koreans.
Koreans.
We do have the Chinese tourists that are coming in. We're getting probably about 20% only of the other international market. But what sustains the business here in Clark is the domestic tourism. Domestic tourism,
okay. So who would be the major players inside Clark?
Inside Clark, you have Widus, you have Fontana, you have Holiday Inn, Stutzenberg, Oxford. There's few others that are coming in, the small ones. But because of this tourism wherein we call it the domestic market, there are days wherein you're running out of rooms. An example was there was that happened in February this year. Even as far as San Fernando, as far as Angeles, all these hotels are also occupied. When you have hot air balloon, this is another issue.
Yes.
There are days wherein we run out of rooms.
We didn't even have a hot air balloon and we ran out of rooms, right?
How much more if we have them this year?
Okay, so it's really bullish, this segment. Okay, let's talk about your company, Widus Resort and Casino. Let's start with the proponents. Who are the people behind Widus?
There's a group called Widus International Leisure Inc., wherein it's based in Korea. It's a corporation. Basic Han is the president. He started way back in 2006. Then he put up the hotel in 2008. Then the casino in 2009.
So 2006. How did this start? What was the seed? He came here?
He came here as a tourist.
As a tourist.
Then he looked at Clark and he saw that there's a potential. So he took the risk of investing. That was in 2008. And it grew across the years.
Okay. So how about Juan? How did they find dealing with the Filipinos? Because he never had businesses in the Philippines before, huh?
Mr. Han was educated in the U.S.
Yes.
So the mindset is totally different.
Okay.
I deal business with him on a professional level, and he's just like any ordinary Chinese businessman, which I've worked with a couple of owners. At the end of the day, it's more on like putting an investment. You make sure that it makes money, and so far, Widus is growing, and in fact, we're expanding.
No, it must have helped that he studied in the USA. It's easier to communicate with him.
Exactly.
So what was the vision for the company then?
The vision is to become a one-stop destination, a one-stop leisure destination in the Philippines. It is something that we would like to see in the next 5 years.
Okay.
Wherein, like convention, MICE, outside Metro Manila, where do you want to go? It's either you go to Cebu, Boracay, or Palawan. But you only have a 45 minutes away from Manila, wherein majority of the mass is from Manila.
So this is no longer a focused strategy. Unlike before, it used to be focused on the Korean community. So you're hitting a wider market now.
This is now a wider market. Of course, you cannot neglect the Korean. Korean is still the #1 tourist in the Philippines.
That's your base.
This is your base.
Okay.
And we are now getting more based on the local tourism, especially the domestic market, because of the convention center that we have. Normally, you have the Koreans during the weekends. Okay. Now, you have the Koreans on weekdays. You also have the MICE market during weekdays. On the weekends, you have the local market, the family market.
Okay. For the information of the viewers, maybe you could give us a short rundown on what facilities you're offering right now in your hotel.
Widus right now has a total of 230 rooms. We offer spa, gym. You have the swimming pool. This is because if you're outside Metro Manila, people would like to relax. Yeah, the reason why we put up the spa, because when people go out, they want to relax in the evening. We have a bar, we call it the Prism Bar, which is a nightly entertainment. We offer garden weddings. We have the convention center that can seat up to 650.
Okay.
Right now, so people will know how big it is. We do have concerts. We bring in international talents, international artists to perform, to not just only to sell tickets, but to ensure that Widus is here to provide the entertainment.
Yes, yeah, we've noticed that you've had quite a few concerts, right? You had
Rex Smith. We brought in Stylistics. John Ford Coley. We brought in the last one was the Spandau Ballet. And this coming May, we're bringing in Cascades together with Classics 4.
Okay. Oh yeah. And I think this all started when you joined the company, right? Okay. Let's now go to the story. How did you get? You were originally based in Cebu. You went abroad. You went back home. You were based in Manila for a while. And then now you're here. Tell us about this.
That was way back last year, first quarter of last year. Nowadays, people are into internet. I have my LinkedIn, and somebody called me and said, "Are you interested to work in Clark?" And I said, "I'm not closing my doors. I mean, everyone is always open." So I gave it a chance. They said, "Why don't you come over and look at the property?" Clark for me was something like, I thought it was like 2 hours away from Manila. So I took a drive to Clark. It was only like an hour and a half. Of course, the traffic is in Manila, not in the highway. It took me 2 hours together with Mr. Han, and after 5 days, I didn't realize that I already signed a contract. Why did I sign a contract with Widus? Number one, I believe that Clark has a big potential in the next 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
aside from the property itself that has a potential, I can see that you will have international flights coming in. It's an international airport, one of a kind outside Metro Manila. Diverted flights, it's already give you the history. The data can tell you that when there's a problem in Manila, it's always be Clark as your alternative airport. So it's not far. In the next 3-5 years, this will be the place.
Okay. So here you are in a strange land by yourself. You didn't bring anybody with you, right? So how was it? How does one fit in? I think this could be interesting for people who are considering employment here. How was it for you?
For me, I find Clark, well, I'll be honest, when you're a hotelier, you should be talking to people. If you're not a people person, this is not the industry for you. We deal with people. For me, it's not new to me. Okay. When I was studying way back in how many pounds ago, I was alone.
For me, it was about 100 pounds ago.
Because I started my grade school. I was in La Union. And I was with my father. Then when I moved back to Cebu in my high school days, that's where I joined my family. And working alone, even when I was in Taiwan and Indonesia, I was alone. So working in Clark is not new to me.
Okay, so it's okay. Now that you're the general manager, let's talk about the interventions you did.
What we did first with Widus was we changed the whole thing. We all know that nowadays, if you talk about marketing a place, you have to put it as a destination. You sell Clark as a destination before you sell your property.
Okay.
Number one, we changed, first is the image.
Okay.
We changed the logo. If you've noticed, it used to be Widus Hotel, Resort and Casino. Now it's Widus Hotel and Casino. Number two, we changed our website. We put up a new Facebook page. Okay. Last is that even though you have this free, you have to connect to the world. So we put up a booking engine that is linked to our website. And we are now, you can now book through, if you're in the US or anywhere in the world, we are now in the global distribution system. Okay. So if you're an airline, you would like to get an airline seat, automatic, you can see Widus already. Okay. These are the first thing that we put in. Aside from that, we have to start working on our talents. Widus has been there for 5 years, and I'm not saying that the service is not good, but it would be better if you will have an international flavors into it. Improving the service, because it's not just only the property. It's not only a product. You have to concentrate on your software. But in your software, you need to have good talents. So hiring good talents with good attitude. This is where we started the formulation. Then from there, we started saying that what is next? Then we start creating packages. We're starting to be visible. We're putting up billboards. We make sure that people start knowing us. We put up radio stations, radio ads, TV ads, all this. With this one, of course, it will not give you an overnight. It takes time, at least 2 to 3 months. But now I would say we're happy. Occupancy is coming in. And business is starting to pick up.
Okay. For those of you who have been paying close attention, you will note that underlying all of this story is technology. They got you through, link it. You started marketing, and the first thing you did, improve the website. Facebook. You connected with the social network. You connected with the automatic booking system. So you'll see that technology has really played a part in this thing.
This is the new era.
The new era, the big data age. The big data is. And okay, we have to take a break, and please stay with us as we talk more about Widus. See you in a while.